The most bizarre sports ever invented.
You've heard of basketball, tennis, bowling. They're all so vanilla. And yes, vanilla is the best flavor, but there's so many other flavors.
It is absolutely not, and I will fight anyone on this. It goes chocolate, strawberry, then vanilla as a distant third.
To explore. I want to look at some genuinely unhinged creations today, and what better place to start than with a little sport called disco foot. Disco foot is soccer/football, where players have to constantly be freestyle dancing throughout the entire match.
I feel like it looks ridiculous. Also, this guy in the background. Look at this guy in the background over here. Honestly, I can't knock it. That looks awesome. But imagine how much, like, regular soccer is already so difficult. It's so much harder to dance and also play soccer. I would unironically watch this. If this was like on like ESPN or live streamed on YouTube, this is an outstanding idea. I don't know why this isn't more popular.
By gummy, I don't even know where to look. The way it works is that your team gets points for scoring goals, obviously, but you also get points for dancing. There are judges that are keeping an eye on everybody throughout the match and giving bonus points to those that have the most skilled dances or the most creative freestyle. So similar to...
I feel like you should get extra points if you do something synchronized like this. Like this should be bonus points.
Similar to how you can technically win a round of Mario Party without actually collecting a star, you can win a round of Disco Foot without ever scoring a goal. Okay, this guy is kind of carving it up. He's too good for this. Get that man a contract stat. And this
is it done at like a team level? Because I feel like then you could just assign dancers and then players, where like half the team dances and then half the team actually kicks the ball at the goal. Because if your whole team doesn't have to dance, right? Because you have one really good dancer that gets points for the whole team. Or do you lose points if you're not constantly dancing? I feel like you need like maybe one or two people to just not dance and only kick the ball into the goal, and then the rest can dance and get the dancing bonus points.
Begs the question: if you want to win Disco Foot, is it even worth dancing? Begs the question: if you want to win Disco Foot, is it even worth dancing? You could definitely blow by all of these goofballs with just a little bit of hustle and put up absolutely insane numbers. Just give them a little bit of this while you're breaking their ankles. There's also a couple of times during...
I feel like this is like the Savannah Bananas, how they constantly dance between every pitch. This is the same vibe.
In the match where they go super slow motion, an interesting watch. Interesting is the word I'm going to use. I also like the synchronized dances that they have planned out for...
I think the best part of this is sometimes you just do something goofy and dumb because it's funny. And it's like not harming anyone, so you may as well just have a good time for the sole purpose of having a good time without, need for anything else. Just like have a goofy... Like kids dance all the time because it's fun. And as adults, I think we get too embarrassed and stop doing that. And I feel like something's really lost there. And so just dumb for dumb's sake because you're having a good time, I think should be more normalized.
When they score a goal, very fun. And I can't knock on that because I'm a big fan of NFL football, and they do that when they score touchdowns as well. So my Vikings were really high on touchdown celebrations a few years ago. The one thing that I do think about this, though, is that it screams college freshman orientation. Like, this is just a club that you'd see on campus and be like, oh, they're doing it again. I used to walk across campus just trying to get to my business accounting class, and I would have to walk across a battlefield of interesting fellas who were sword fighting with foam weapons every Tuesday. And that was tough enough, that test.
Yeah, I gotta call out his hating here. It's like people fighting with foam weapons. That sounds awesome. Like being goofy because being goofy is fun is the best reason to be goofy. You're having a good time. Same with the soccer thing. Imagine you go there and then you just dance for like 30 minutes of a game and it doesn't really matter who wins or loses. You just make good friends and have a good time. I think that's great.
Did my patience a little bit. This would have made me drop out of school. Maybe that's just not for me.
Okay, well, maybe not all of it is okay.
I think honestly, the most surprising thing is the sheer number of people in attendance. We all have a finite time on Earth, and here we are. I'm spending it. I'm using some of my time watching it as well. So
I think those people are watching because it's something that they wish they were brave enough to do. Just go out there and play a fool and dance around while badly playing soccer. They wish that they were self-confident enough to be that bad at something while also just having a good time with no ulterior motive.
Am I to speak? I've hosted a few sporting events of my own over the years, so I totally respect the grind of getting something like this organized and set up. And all things considered, anything that makes soccer more bearable to watch is a-okay with me. I do wonder what it would look like on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, though. Introducing Walking soccer, the pickleball of foot sports. Walking soccer is soccer with no dancing. Don't even think about dancing. Stop it. How dare you?
And it's good for the baby boomers that stop working. Instead of sitting at home and be lonely, you come into the park, you enjoy the sun, vitamin D.
Good for them. Instead of staying in their home that has 8x'd in value since they bought it, they're getting out and enjoying their retirement. Something that fewer and fewer people will ever get to do. Good for them, though.
This is actually something I did, not specifically this, but I used to teach boxing, and in that class, we had classes specifically for senior citizens because they don't really get out or do anything. So they would come in and they would make friends while also getting to learn to do something new and help them stay active. So twice a week, we'd bring in anyone who was like over the age of 65 or whatever, and they would get to box, and it was a lot of fun. They really enjoyed it. I think anything that keeps old people happy, healthy, and social is a really good thing. It's way cheaper than paying all of their like welfare costs.
Walking soccer, they explicitly say that running is prohibited. You cannot run. It's in the name.
Yeah, half these people would die if they ran. So I'm fully on board with the no running.
You're walking. Well, what exactly is this then? And what have we here?
That guy's
okay. I know
he's cheating. This guy's cheating. He's just showing off.
Breaking the rules, but that is some incredible hustle for a senior citizen. Maybe we got to get him on the disco foot team. I think he would clean up, actually. There's also a rule that only the goalie can be within this arched area near the goal. A rule that this man completely ignores. We don't have any respect for the game of walking soccer. These elders are
the goalie could not believe it.
Goalie is not having any of it. That is the wildest facial expression I maybe have ever seen. Genuinely gobsmacked. Admittedly, I haven't really watched much soccer in my life. I don't like being bored. But a takeaway from what I have seen is that it feels like a sport where you just kind of see how much you can get away with. I'm gonna grab this guy like this. Oh, this person sneezed on me. I'm gonna unconscious. See if you can get a call here or there. It's the name of the game. And golly, do these people...
Soccer is like half playing the sport that's really, really hard and difficult, and then half lying about what's happening to try and get goal shots.
Fully embody that mindset as well. No running, you say? Well, maybe I'll run a little bit. Stay out of that arched area? How about you? My house is worth $2 million and I bought it for $65K. I'll be honest, I'd be finding loopholes too, though. Catch me doing the Waluigi celebration after every goal. Okay, switching things up, let's take a look at some racing-related sports. Sidecar racing. Now, this is a two-man team where one person drives a motorcycle and the other person rides in a sidecar.
This seems really extreme and really dangerous, because like in race cars, at least you've got the protection of the car around you. This is much more akin to motorcycle, where if you flip, you might just die because someone hits you.
Leaning into turns, they're flinging their body around to build momentum. Mario Kart Double Dash, eat your heart out.
This is kind of awesome, actually. Because the guy on the side actually has a purpose.
Less than 10 seconds in, these guys have already been tossed and trampled by the stampede like
How did they survive?
Mufasa. These guys flip their bike, get absolutely murdered in the process, and then the driver gets crushed.
Yeah, I know he says down here, don't worry, they're okay, but this guy doesn't move the whole time.
Again, trying to regain his composure. Not a sport for the faint of heart, to say the least. It's
I don't know if he made it.
Not just dirt bikes, though. They do this nonsense on concrete as well, which is so insanely dangerous, but whatever tickles your pickle, I guess. Look at
This is a bit much. I wouldn't consider myself a thrill seeker, but stuff like this seems fun, driving fast, but like...
How the sidecar person has to hang off the side to make sure they don't go slamming into a wall at 150 miles an hour. Think about how strong you have to be to do this job. The grip strength and the core strength, every part of your body is superhuman. This is exactly how I felt whenever Jaden and I would go tubing at the lake. I'm shifting my body weight all over the tube, trying to make sure we don't go flipping over, and Jaden's just hanging on for dear life. So yeah, same thing as what they're doing here, pretty much. What I want to know is, how are there enough people out there that are willing to do this? There's an entire sport dedicated to it. I would have assumed that there were like...
It's crazy how low they get.
12 people across the globe. There's enough people that are okay with being this guy that they could make a sport out of it?
Many of the riders.
To be fair, it's basically the same as motocross, or like most any other form of racing. You want it to be fast, exciting, and just a little bit dangerous, because that keeps it really interesting and engaging. So I feel like there's absolutely a place for this. I would probably be more likely to watch this, because I think this takes even more skill, because you have two people that need to coordinate as opposed to just one person.
Hug their loved ones before even taking so much as a practice lap at the Isle of Man.
Hey, guys, you don't have to do this. You can pick up a hobby where your entire family doesn't have to pray the rosary every time you leave the house, can't you? I've heard disco foot can be quite thrilling. Okay, I'll even give you an alternative. If you insist on racing, I've got something for you. Wife carrying. The only requirement here is that you do have a wife, I guess.
I think that eliminates all my viewers.
Well, I guess apparently not, because the captions on this broadcast actually say otherwise. The man's wife, a neighbor's wife, or a woman he's found elsewhere? Just any adult qualifies. So get some...
Imagine like a Craigslist ad where it's like a wife needed for carrying, or any woman needed to be found elsewhere for the sake of carrying. Where do you find tiny, like gymnasts? I would just look, yeah, exactly, like Simone Biles, just like any gymnast. It's like, hey, I need you. Anyone under 4 foot, please.
Simone Biles in here. Stat. Okay, so maybe
I don't think she's having any fun. Look at her facial expression on the second fall. Look at her. Yeah, there's no smile on her face. Also, people are really heavy. Even like a light, small person is still like 100 to 150 pounds. That's a lot of weight to try and carry any distance. That's why firemen are so jacked. Sexy.
Okay, so maybe what I said about this being safer than sidecar racing was a bit premature. Oh, good grief. This poor lady is being drowned by her husband.
And every time you fall, you faceplant. The woman faceplants into your butt every single time, no matter what.
And blows out his ACL, and he drops her on her head. A series of unfortunate events, to be sure. They're gonna need marriage counseling after this. Unless she...
Imagine being the husband that dropped your wife in the race in front of everybody. You would never live that down. Friends, family, internet strangers, they would all hear about it and make fun of you for the rest of your life.
She's the neighbor's wife, I guess. In which case, you're gonna have to leave the country, brother. You are not making it through the night when her husband sees this, I promise. I counted 5 steps before Buddy went down. Wives in my audience watching this video, be honest, would this give you the ick? Is this a turnoff? It's gotta be, right?
You would never hear the end of it from her if you were trying to carry her in a race and you immediately fell over and couldn't do it.
It tells me you're not gonna be more attracted to your husband after he collapses on his face in front of a crowd of people carrying you on his back. Although I will say this is the only wife that isn't upside down, so maybe it is kind of her fault. Right, guys? This is her fault. There's actually a really fun video that I saw on this channel called Kara and Nate. They went to this competition. They competed a few years ago. So if you want to see some more behind the scenes of this type of thing, that's a good video to watch. Some of the events are more brutal than others. Like there was this one where the water obstacle is just a giant pool of mud and nobody could do it. Just crashing left and right. It was a disaster. Either way, it's a nice...
You, as the wife, have to be such a good sport to endure this. There is only the possibility that you will be humiliated. Nobody's gonna come out of that in happy or in good form.
This little bonding moment, you know, husband and wife fighting for their lives. I give this sport a 10 out of 10. Speaking of fighting for your life, the annual cheese roll in England. You have no doubt seen clips from this event at some point in your life. Actually, at this year's event, there were a bunch of videos that were going viral of different angles of this one guy because he got his soul knocked out of him. Look at this and tell me this.
Look at the airtime on this. Look at that. If you ever find yourself in this position, something has gone horribly wrong in your life that led you to this point. There were mistakes made or decisions you should have done differently to prevent this position from ever happening.
Intense amateur sport you've ever seen. This is an ESPN all-time top 10 tumble. Imagine what must have been going...
Did he win though? I feel like that's the most important. Imagine doing that and then you don't get the cheese wheel.
Going through his head at that moment when he's hitting that pose. Surely the last thing that's ever gone through his head since...
That's crazy. I think maybe he thought he was going to land on his feet.
Somebody chucking a wheel of cheese down a hill, followed by a large group of people racing to the bottom to get to it first, recklessly throwing their bodies down the hill. There's no smooth way to do this. There've been a couple of people over the years that have made it look less deadly, but I've never seen somebody that's impressed me. Mostly it's people taking...
I feel like this would be kind of fun, actually. Like if you're one of these people where you're mostly just sliding and rolling, like you're probably not getting that hurt. It's about like being in a mosh pit, probably.
He was ever made to take. I think the wildest part of this event is that nobody is forcing you to do it. Well, Scott, at least they get a really great prize for winning. They get to keep the wheel of cheese. Oh, I'm sorry. You thought I might say more than that? No, they just get to keep the wheel of cheese. That's the prize. Cheese. The risk-reward ratio has never been lower. I lost my balance the other day tripping over a kid's toy and bumped my leg barely on a coffee table. I've been feeling my heartbeat in my shin ever since then. This is not something I would survive.
Okay, but to be fair, this is like mud and grass. It's actually a fairly soft landing. Hitting a coffee table is like a sharp corner that has no give. But like this, I mean, it wouldn't be comfortable. But as far as just like you're sliding down a muddy hill, it's
intense amateur sport ever created. God bless these people. I hope they're okay. On a very different note, I think maybe the least extreme amateur sport ever created is something that's ironically called extreme ironing. I would describe extreme ironing as if they turned the phrase "le random epic bacon" into a sport. The goal here is to iron a shirt in the most extreme way possible. In a tree, in the river, on a car. Oh my goodness gracious. Here's an embarrassing admission. When I was 11 years old, I probably would have thought this is the dopest thing ever.
You guys don't get it. It's actually hilarious. Like, they're ironing on an ironing board in like the most random spots ever. It's funny. We should do a Harlem Shake.
It's nice to have.
Okay, but I feel like this is kind of funny, right? Like, I would definitely unironically watch this just because, again, it's absurdity for absurdity's sake because it's funny and doesn't hurt anyone. That is great.
A few people looking on. There we are.
I love the dramatic music. Look at this pose he's striking. Look at the angles here.
It's an important part of life. Ironing. It's certainly not meant to be normal. Normal's boring.
I just know that goat yoga and slacklining were this guy's gateway drugs.
It's nice to have something like extreme ironing. It's a great way to just get out of everyday life. Just have a bit of fun.
You could just enjoy the view, partner. This makes it more fun for you? Really? Am I?
Okay. No. I gotta call out Scott's hating here. This is awesome. He's like, I want to do something crazy and out of the ordinary, like ironing on top of a mountain because it's fun and I wanted to do it. I think that's the best reason ever. No one's getting hurt. He's having a good time. He gets a little publicity and exposure. He does something out of the ordinary and absurd for absurd's sake. This is like the best reasons ever to me for you to participate in something like this.
Wired wrong. Is there something wrong with me?
Absolutely.
Carrying an ironing board around would make everything so much less fun. This is one of those things that you're...
Maybe I'm on board with the hating for this part, but like the dude that hiked a mountain to iron on top of a mountain just because he thought it would be fun. That's, I mean, come on. There's nothing wrong with that.
Quirky relative would get into for one summer and make it their entire personality. I admittedly do get a little uncomfortable when people take something really seriously that's like objectively dumb. I get it. Okay, you're being silly. But why are we doing this?
Because it's silly. Come on, Scott. This sounds great. I think extreme ironing should be added to like Ludwig streamer games.
That's what makes it fun, you Scrooge. It's harmless.
Yeah,
so get
he
over
gets it.
Let people have fun.
All right, man. Have fun. Can we start scuba sewing? We should do a scuba sewing class.
Okay, I know he's making a joke, but unironically, I would watch like underwater knitting, scuba knitting. That sounds awesome. But I think taking something innocuous like ironing and then making it fun or weird just for the sole purpose of it being funny and enjoyable as kind of an escapism, that sounds awesome.
Sewing underwater with scuba gear. You guys and me can do that. It'd be so fun and quirky. I'm being a hater. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be a hater. It's just, there's a lot going on out there. And we're, whatever. My favorite part of this event is the freestyle round, where they can get as goofy or wacky as they want with it. Like this madman who's slowly going back and forth over a bench. Or this guy who's doing a weird, creepy little number. Extreme ironing! And you're probably thinking, this particular event was in 2002. Well, where are they now? What are these people up to after their extreme ironing days are over? I would wager you could probably find them at like a Shrek festival. I'm sure if there's a theater nearby showing the Minecraft movie, they're throwing popcorn at the screen. These types really gather. Again, why am I being such a hater? What's wrong with me?
Oh my God, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
I'm not usually one to care about stuff like this, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, this one is getting on my nerves. This doesn't sit right with me. We get it, you're weird, and your clothes aren't wrinkly. Okay, great. I've got clothes that aren't wrinkly too, you don't hear me bragging about it. Okay, we've been pretty summer heavy so far, so I think we should take a look at a winter sport. I never watch hockey, but my favorite sport of all time is football. So what if we could combine the two? Well, they figured that out. Enter ice football. Now they turned this into a professional sport for adults, but
does this not seem really dangerous? Like, look, right there, you can see the guy's blade is up at the other dude's waist.
guys, this was literally just me and the boys all winter long at recess. I was first team All-American snow day football, dude. I don't think you understand how dominant I was. I feel like it's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. I love watching the player's speed have to slowly build up as the play develops. Like, you can't have any quick burst.
Okay, tackling with blades on your feet seems like a horrible idea. I know it happens in ice hockey all the time, but that's not like the specific objective of the game. It's more just kind of a byproduct of how it's played. Plus, people in ice hockey get sliced like all the time. Encouraging people to hit each other with blades on their feet seems like just a bad idea.
At all. It's just not possible. They're sliding around. They don't have skates on. They're just sliding around on the ice. It takes
Oh wait, they have nothing on their feet?
like 5 seconds to get going up to full speed. Picture Bowser.
Oh wait, they're just wearing normal shoes? Never mind. I take it back. I love this.
Mario Kart. Like, he can really get going. And once he's going, you don't want to be in his way. 2 Mario Kart references in one video and a Mario Party reference. What is that all about? What am I doing? This also feels very Japanese, doesn't it? Like those old wacky game shows that they used to have. Would you be surprised if I told you this was actually a league that takes place in Germany? Germany, the country that's famously so whimsical and silly. And you know what? Good for these guys finding something that they enjoy doing and all, but I mean, we get Lamar Jackson on the ice, it's gonna be a bloodbath. What are we talking about? Metaphorically. But I guess if you're in the market for a literal bloodbath, may I introduce you to combat juggling? Combat juggling,
I have seen this before, and this is awesome.
like every other sport I've talked about today, is exactly what it sounds like. 2 teams compete against each other in a fight to the death of sorts. You have to keep control of juggling all 3 of your clubs at all times. If somebody knocks one out of your hands, you're eliminated. We used to do something like this at basketball practice where we'd be working on ball handling, so we'd dribble a ball and try to knock each other's away. You try to be the last one still in control while everyone's coming for your balls. I just so happened to be watching this combat juggling event from 2014, and I thought I heard something.
Welcome to the 2014 Umbuk Combat Juggling Championship from SkillCon, the ultimate skills convention.
Is that Penn Jillette? It is, right? My man's out here doing side quests.
Who is Penn Jillette? American magician, actor, comedian, musician, inventor, television presenter, and author, best known for his work on fellow magician Teller and half of the Penn and Teller team. Am I out of touch? I don't think I've ever heard of this guy before. Yeah, I got nothing.
That's what the kids say. Remember earlier when I said I was surprised at the amount of people that were willing to do sidecar racing? Where the hell are they finding these guys? The world is so vast and beautiful. There is truly a community for everybody. Guys, if you haven't found a solid group of friends or a fun hobby that—
Where was this attitude for extreme ironing? Justice for extreme ironing. He's like, the world is so big and cool. You can find people doing things as goofy and fun as combat juggling. But extreme ironing is too much for you? Come on, Scott.
you really love yet, you will keep looking. Scuba sewing or whatever I said earlier. Maybe that's our thing. Let's get back into something that I think I could maybe do myself. I remember watching Slam Ball on TV at my grandparents' house one day after school, and I genuinely thought it was the coolest thing man has ever created. Indoor plumbing? Overrated. Contact lenses? Who needs them? We got Slam Ball. These games always get so violent too. It's like that scene from The Longest Yard where Adam Sandler is just getting straight up mauled by, who was it, Michael Irvin? This is every kid's dream. Basketball where everything inside the 3-point line is a trampoline? Sign me up yesterday.
That actually seems unironically awesome. That would be so
My
much
knees
fun
would
to play.
fully explode and I'd walk away with a severe concussion, but nothing would be more fun than this. Well, maybe it would be a little bit more fun if they strapped an ironing board to your back. Combat wasn't really the point of Slam Ball, though. It happened. It happened a lot, but it wasn't a central theme of the sport. But Wrestle Ball, on the other hand, now that's another story. Wrestle ball is like rugby or lacrosse if you mixed it with basketball and then also mixed it with straight up wrestling. It is kind of brutal to watch, and not because it's super aggressive or violent, but
They seem really bad at the game. Not to knock them, but they seem fine at wrestling and really bad at basketball.
because none of these guys are basketball players. They're all
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
more the wrestler type. So watch
It's
it.
just a bunch of dudes that wanted to fight, but they wanted it to be a little more organized than that. So they're like, what if we also played basketball at the same time?
Them shoot is less than impressive. Don't let Sensei Seth learn about this. He'll be a world champion by the end of the year. The sport is kind of a slow burn too. It's not really as action-packed as you might assume it would be. When I was watching it, I found myself waiting for the action to happen. Like, kind of like when I'm watching NASCAR. Not often am I watching NASCAR. I'm a struggler racing type of guy. But if I'm watching a NASCAR race, I'm like, all right, Is something gonna happen? Someone gonna spin out? Someone gonna crash? Wake me up when someone's upside down. And like, I'm never hoping for
I feel like that's the appeal of the sidecar thing too. It's like it's an extra level of kind of a little bit of absurdity, but also danger on top of, you know, the regular danger of motorcycle riding. So there's like more chance that something wild happens in people crashing.
crash. But it is more exciting when it happens. Struggler racing, it's way too many crashes. Nobody knows what they're doing out there. It's embarrassing. We got to figure that out. We're losing money left and right, guys. All right, strugglers. I think I saved my favorite one for last. Maybe more than anything else I've talked about today, I think this is the one that I would most like to try myself. This is Cosmic Baseball. Look at this. There is nothing better than this. Don't even try to name something. Contact lenses? Overrated! You've probably heard of the Savannah Bananas by now. They're very popular. They're the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, right? It's silly, it's impressive, they do a bunch of theatrics, it's a good time, everybody loves the Savannah Bananas. Now take that and turn the dang lights off. And now turn the black lights on, Okay, black lights, good to go. These fellas are living the American dream. It starts off as a normal baseball game, and then as the sun sets, they turn on the black lights, and they get weird with it. Regular bowling became irrelevant to me when our 4th grade class went cosmic bowling for the first time. I'm not setting foot in a bowling alley unless the black lights are on. One of the rules of this Cosmic Baseball League that I think is actually maybe a little bit better than regular baseball is that if somebody gets walked when they're up to bat, instead of just going to first base, they lob the ball up to themselves and whack it, and then they still have to run to first without getting thrown out. It helps make...
Isn't viewership for regular baseball dying? Both because people like the Savannah Bananas are coming along and making it like baseball, but also more interesting, more fun with more crowd participation, but also because it's just really slow and really boring to watch. I think they made some rule update recently, the MLB did, to make the games way faster because their viewership is not doing well. Yeah, here's like the World Series TV ratings from 1984. It's not doing so hot. We've seen a definite and major downward trend since, you know, the 80s. I think anything to make baseball more exciting is a good thing, including being cosmic and awesome. That sounds like so much fun.
Make even the boring stuff in the sport more exciting. Now, I don't expect baseball to change the rules on that. Pitching is an art form, I get it, but it's fun to have something a little bit different. Right in the middle of the game, they do a home run derby. They also let the fans vote on different things that'll happen throughout the game, and like in this one video I watched, for the entire second inning, they had to run the bases backwards. And my goodness, my scrambled egg brain, I'd be genuinely struggling. Maybe we implement that into Struggler Racing. Maybe we have them drive, they turn right instead of turning left. Guys, I think we cracked it. I just cannot get over how sick this looks. Also, every video and comment I've seen from people is that if you're there in person, it looks even cooler than it does on video.
It's also so much easier to track the ball in this. Look, like regular baseball, the ball goes up into the sky. It's like blue sky with white clouds and a white baseball against it. You can't see anything. Here, everyone knows where everything is going.
Glow-in-the-dark version of
awesome.
every sport stat. Get Lamar Jackson on the ice for some glow-in-the-dark ice football. The people need it. Plus, we can see who's washing their hands and who's not after you leave the public restroom. I'd like to know these things. So anyway, the long-awaited video. What's your guys' favorite sport? Let me know in the comments below. I had a bunch of other sports written down. Maybe I'll make 20 Instagram reels about them instead.
That was the most bizarre sports ever invented by Scott Kramer. Good video. Thanks for watching.